Hello, I'd like to talk to you about the elasticity of demand. The elasticity of demand, in fact, let's draw that right here. The formula, that is the percentage change. Now we put the percentage sign to stand for percentage. This triangle looking thing means change in quantity demanded, all divided by the percentage change in price. In other words, what we're trying to look at is if I raise my price or lower my price. So here's one price, and let's say in my example, I raise the price, and in fact, let's do that right here. So in our example here, you find my cursor somewhere in here. Here's my, say raise the price. Here's my original price. Here's my new price. Here's my original quantity and my new quantity. So notice in this case, if the price of women's clothing increased by 10%, so over here, I have a 10% increase in price, and I'm assuming people bought 12% less. So we started here at point A, lower priced, raised our price, went from that point to that point where it's a movement along the demand curve. This is a demand curve, and people bought less. So in other words, we're just looking at the law of demand, which says at higher prices people buy less, and trying to say, well, how much less? How big of a response are you going to have to my changing price if I'm the seller? And so in this case, we would have, using this formula over here, we would have 0.1 in the bottom standing for 10%, or you could just write out 10, and we'd have a 0.12. And so 10% change in price, 12% reduction in quantity. We normally treat the elasticity of demand as an absolute value, but right now I'm going to use negative numbers. The negative number just means, look, the demand curve's downward sloping. So this would equal to a negative or would that be a negative 1.2 if I calculated correctly? Oops, lost my pen there. Negative 1.2 elasticity of demand. And in fact, that is about the same as some authors have calculated as the elasticity of demand for women's clothing as negative 1.2. That a change in price, the percentage change in quantity will be bigger than a percentage change in price. And in this case, and I'm going to put E for the stand for the elasticity. In fact, let's put a little d to stand for the elasticity of demand. And so in this case, the elasticity of demand, since it is greater, the absolute value of the elasticity of demand is greater than 1, it is elastic. Now, if the elasticity of demand, absolute value of the elasticity of demand was less than 1, we would call it inelastic. That would be a fraction. And if the elasticity of demand, absolute value, was equal to 1, we normally call that unit elastic. There. So that's the elasticity of demand. You're just looking at the law of demand and seeing how much people respond to change in price. And notice you're just looking at the percentage change in quantity over the percentage change in price. If the elasticity is greater than 1, it's elastic. That is, the absolute value is greater than 1. We're dropping off that negative sign. If the absolute value is less than 1, it is inelastic. And if the elasticity of demand is equal to 1, we call that unit elastic. Unit standing for 1. Hope that helps. I'll talk to you later.